Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System, and the word of the day is offense, as in I take offense to that. And I've been thinking a lot in the last few days about how as human beings we are wired to respond to stress and fear with one of three things: fight, flight, or freeze. And many of us are going to be generally naturally inclined to either be a fighter, a fleer, or a freezer. And that a lot of times we're going to respond with one of these things more often than others. So I was thinking a lot about what it means to be a fighter, and especially how that informs our sense of the world, and particularly how if we respond to stress by immediately going into fight mode and immediately sort of like going in with like both dukes up and ready to take it on, how that's going to impact the way that we resolve the situation, and also how we tell ourselves stories about the experiences that we have even after things are done. And so recently I was doing some work with somebody where we were working on an old situation, and it was a very stressful situation. And when it happened, their natural response was to go into fight mode. And so one of the things that happened was that by going into fight mode, they interpreted what was going on through the lens of offense, through the lens of these people are out to cause me harm. This was a deliberate act of negligence. This was a deliberate act of willful misrepresentation, and that it was basically interpreted through that inclination to fight. And I was thinking about how when we do that, when we are wired to respond by fighting, if we're looking, sort of what is that saying that says basically to a hammer, everything looks like a nail, and in a way, to a fighter, everything looks like a battle. And as a result, we will be much more inclined to look for things to be offended by if we're wired to be a fighter than if we are not wired to be a fighter. Now, what I am really believing is that we are at an incredibly crucial time right now. And one of the most important things that we can be doing is learning how to not automatically go into these reflexive responses. Or if we do, to then recognize we're going into them and to pull back so that we can choose to respond to things instead of reacting to things. Now, I was recording a live stream the other day, and I was saying that martial artists, for example, really learn how to override their fight, flight, or freeze. That they get to a point where they are so capable of remaining present, even in a very stressful situation, that they can be deliberate and responsive to what is going on around them, and they get to decide how they're going to respond as opposed to just automatically going into sort of blind rage or fight mode or flee mode or freeze mode for that matter. And I think that in many ways right now, learning how to dismantle this natural reflex is so incredibly important. And I think it starts by recognizing what we actually are. So my question to you right now is, are you a fighter? Are you a fleer? Are you a freezer? And if you're a fighter, do you notice the ways that being a fighter affects the stories you tell yourself about what is happening and why it is happening? Do you find yourself taking offense a lot to things that are going on in the world as if it was actually deliberate, as if it was actually meant to cause you harm? And can you see how being wired as a fighter is affecting the way you are perceiving the world around you? So, I would love to hear what you have to say about all of this. Please leave a comment below. And until next word of the day, I am wishing you peace, I am wishing you ease, and I am wishing you the capacity to pull back and look at the situation from a place of calmness and perhaps let go of the offense so that you get to choose how you want to proceed. Now, in the meantime, I will be ever so grateful for you to go and like my Facebook page, Modern Medicine Lady, and also please help me get this video out into the world. Please like it, please share it, and please pass it along to other people who would find it useful. Thank you so much, and until tomorrow, peace.